So how do we do this? We'd start them out with something like a 90-90 hip lift. So we would have them lay on their back. Perform a little hip lift by digging their heels into the bench, right? And that naturally is going to create a little bit of traction in the spine, or kind of stretch out the lower back, if you will, right? From there, arms go up in the air, and they're working on breathing out until their ribs sink and their low back pushes into the floor, and then breathing in to their lower back, trying to feel that expansion and stretch as they breathe in. So we're kind of taking one end of the spectrum where they tend to fall at the front, and we're trying to get them to fill up their back so that they average out in the middle, right? So inhale, exhale till the ribs go flat, and really trying to fill up through the lower back there. If you're doing this right, lifter will probably feel some tightness in the hamstrings and a stretch in the lower back, right? Stepping that up a little bit, we can take them from this same 90-90 position where they're getting kind of gravity-assisted core function and put them up into a dead bug. So we take away the bench, and now they have to support themselves, right? Making sure they can breathe and brace with it, and then even adding some movement through that, or pulling them up into a squat and back down. Play around with it. I'm not too picky on how this happens. I just want you to feel the same core mechanics and breathing pattern as you are when you're in your 90-90, right? Moving up from there, once you've mastered that dead bug position, is where things start to probably look a little bit more similar to our second lifter in terms of training program here. So we've established good breathing patterns. We've established good bracing patterns now as well, where the lifter can keep good core tension and keep good uniform abdominal pressure while breathing as well. Now it's time to start integrating it into the pattern we're trying to use. So in the case of our squat, we're going to get them up into a squat, right? Start them out body weight. Make sure they can do the movement first. We talk about this a lot in our Tech Corner high and low bar squat video. I'll link it below, and you can also see it in the Instagram bio links as well. But make sure that the lifter can find that pressure and find that expansion where as they breathe in, the low back fills up with air just as much as their abs and their obliques do. And make sure that as they go down, they can keep that expansion, right? Grabbing onto your sides, making sure that as you poke, you can't squish your finger in, but there's sort of a little trampoline effect and your abs push back out against your fingers or thumbs or whatever you're using to poke yourself as you go through the movement. And that means you're keeping good abdominal pressure, right? Or at least you have a bit of a brace going on, okay? From there, we've established good breathing, good bracing pattern, starting to integrate into the movement we're trying to get to. Now it's time to add some load. So with our lifters who are more prone to overextending, we're going to give them more of a front-loaded compression style squat. So something to the tune of a 2 dumbbell goblet squat. Could be like so. So I like these personally over a single dumbbell goblet squat or a front squat or something like that, because you're still trying to create compression and it stops the lifter from overextending and spilling out the front like we talked about a second ago, and really rewards being more uniform with your brace. So dumbbells go up here under the chin, forearms hold the dumbbells together. Lifter is still thinking about keeping that brace, getting that uniform expansion. And then squatting with it. And then our last step from there is simply taking the pattern and the strength we've acquired with everything we've done up to this point and applying it to their comp squat, right? Barbell on the back, go to town. You're powerlifting now, right? Of course, as you go through this, you want to make sure that you've nailed the technique on your previous stage and you're consistent with it before you level up. Trying to rush things only really sets you back because you're going to have to backtrack at some point to get the technique again. And don't be afraid to spend some time with some of these sort of moderate progressions like the 2 dumbbell goblet squat and stuff, and go pretty heavy. Load up a couple 70s and lock it down, and you'll find your brace gets pretty tight pretty fast because it's the only way you're going to lift 140 pounds on a goblet squat, right? If you can squat 300, 400 pounds, you should probably be able to do that with a set of 70s, right? Sort of
a third-ish of your squat, you should be able to rep it out on that 2 dumbbell goblet squat and really challenge that trunk stiffness that you're looking for, right?